Getting here a little bit late, but welcome to the Dirt. This is Dirt Floor Talk. I am Jay Herring, your host. I am joined here with my good friend, John Mader. And before we get started, hit the like, subscribe button. Very important that you do it. It's how we get people on the show to watch us and follow us, how we grow. Also, one little tidbit, we do have our first politician coming. If you can call Tom a politician, from what I've seen, he's just a guy running for an office, so we'll see how that works.
Tom's a good guy.
But because of that, there's an open invitation for anybody in Tom Drace. I have to do that, so feel free if you want to come on afterwards and talk. I'm legally obligated to say that. So sit back. We have a saying on the show where we say we are real men having real conversations, and as you can see, it's not polished floors. So as I light my LFD, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me, Jay. This has been a great start here for our time together, and I had a great time at lunch with Ronnie and his buddy and you, and thank you for that. And that was
Market Square.
Excellent place for lunch. Fantastic. My name's John Mader, and Jay and I know one another from the cigar shop, Jerry's.
Absolutely.
Jay's become a very good friend of mine and a cigar enthusiast, just like myself. He smokes a little bigger cigar. I don't know if he's compensating for something, but
I might be. Of course, on a 3-hour show, it's nice to be compensating for something.
And he was kind enough to give me this beautiful Connecticut. I'm a Connecticut smoker. I've never advanced to the Maduros and the richer, the deeper bodies smokes.
You'll grow up one day.
Maybe one day if I'm. I like to keep young. Okay, I like to stay young. So one day Jay and I were chatting with who else were we chatting with at the cigar shop about when I was finding in my adoption.
I think it was Edwin.
I think it was Edwin, and so
shout out to Bocce.
And I'm telling him my story. It's a DNA story, and I'm an adopted person. And Jay and Edwin were pretty captivated by it and said, "Hey, that's a pretty interesting story." And so that's how I ended up here today. And if I'm going on and on, just let me know.
No, talk away. I do want to apologize for 1 second for the late start. We had, as always, a little bit of technical difficulties, and then John had some truck issues on the way up. So we are,
made it.
As we say, we are small but growing. But yeah, no, it was very fascinating. When we started the conversation, first of all, I didn't even know you were adopted. And then you were talking about how you had it narrowed down to 2 guys who were your birth fathers. But tell me something. How did you know you were adopted growing up?
I always knew I was adopted. My mom and dad that adopted me, and Mader, Tom and Ray Mader, they never kept it a secret. I'm the youngest of 5. They had 3 natural kids, 3 daughters, and then they adopted a son, not me, and not related to me, blood, and then they adopted me. And so they never kept it a secret. I had a great childhood. My mom and dad my dad was a great provider. My mom showed a lot of love. My sister showed a lot of love. And I'm so grateful that I was adopted into this family. It's really worked out well for me, especially when we get into, what I actually found out about my youth, my extreme youth. So, yes, I've always known.
So what made you want to start finding out this information?
I said to myself, or really I said to anybody, I didn't want to undermine anything my mom and dad have done, so I never was that interested. Now, if a mother or father, birth mother or father, would have came to me, I would have, of course, been extremely interested. But I wanted to wait till they passed. Well, my dad passed about 17 years ago, and my mom is still alive. She's 94. But I started dating a girl about 10 years ago, and you know Shahrazad.
I do. Very lovely lady.
Thank you. And she's been a delight to have, and I'm very happy to have her and proud to have her. But when I first started dating her, my parents in my youth, all growing up, you're Italian, John. You're Italian. You're Italian. I can pass for Italian.
You could.
So I always told people I was Italian. Well, I start dating Shahrazad, and she is, you could kind of tell from the name, she's a foreign girl. She is Persian from Iran, and she's only been here about 14 years. So she grew up in Iran. And she says, John, you are not Italian. And I'm like, Shahrazad, of course I'm Italian. No one's ever argued with me that I'm not Italian. I mean, they just go with it. Well, she says, hey, I want you to take a DNA test, and I'll take one with you and see what this DNA says where you're from. So we do this DNA. It turns out I'm 2% Italian.
Wow.
2 lousy percent. And she is like 97% Persian. So she's almost like a pure breed.
And hold that 1 second. Forgive us. Scott is actually not here with us today. His girl's actually getting baptized on Sunday. So his family all came into town. So Ronnie, I'm asking you to turn the TV on to Rumble.
Okay.
Is what I've been asking for the last 5 minutes. So we can see ourselves. Thank you. All right, keep going.
So we take the DNA test. She's like 97% Persian. I'm 2% Italian, but mostly Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Okay, which I didn't really know. I always thought it was Italian. So now I'm registered on Ancestry.com, and I see that I've got a half niece on Ancestry.com. So I reach out to her. This is like 4 years ago. Maybe not 4 years. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe even longer. And this girl never gets back to me. And she happens to be my half niece. Well, finally, my son joins Ancestry.com, and this young lady that's my half niece, she reaches out to my son for some reason. And because they have some blood together. And she tells him, hey, this guy's name is Greg. He's a relative of yours. Your dad may be interested in contacting him. So I contact him, and he's my half brother on my mother's side.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to get into that, but first I want to say about my father's story. So that's the mother's side.
Okay.
So the father's side, just a couple months ago, maybe a month or 6 weeks ago, I get hit on DNA by a guy in Sweden. His name is Sarjan Teldin.
Wow.
And he says, hey, I'm your first cousin.
Wow.
So now I didn't know any story about my father, zero. And so this was a very interesting story. He then says, hey, he says, hey, my mother.
Mute it.
My mother was, and this gets confusing, but he says to me, this Sargon Teldin from Sweden, he says, my mother has 2 brothers. And my mother is dead, and one of the brothers is dead, and one of them's alive. And he says to me, and I think one of these gentlemen is your father.
Wow.
So here we are. Now he says contact, her name is Gina. Selma C is her last name. Well, Selma C. So now I know my last name. It's not Mater. I mean, it is Mater. Of course, the Maters were. This is in no way to denigrate. I mean, I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my family. So it's nothing about my adopted family.
Yeah,
But
no.
now I know that I was Salmasi is the last name. Her dad's John. My name's John.
What?
So, you know, how did I get the name John? My mom and dad, Tom and Ray Mader, always said, hey, we inherited your name. When we got you from the orphanage,
Whoa! What the hell?